Hey guys, welcome back. So what we're looking at today is lessons 4 and 5, reasoning about problems, or reasoning about equations and tape diagrams. So we're going to be looking at a lot of tape diagrams. We are doing both lessons 4 and 5 today in this video. So you will have 2 lessons, so 2 sets of practice problems, but only 1 video keyword. So let's go ahead and jump right in. All right, for number 1, Diego has 7 packs of markers. Each pack has X markers in it. After Lynn gives him 9 more markers, he has a total of 30 markers. So we want to draw a tape diagram to represent this situation. So in total, he has 30 markers. So we know for across the top, that's going to be 30. So it's going to be 30 at the top. We have our tape. Now, it tells us that Diego has 7 packs of markers. Each pack has X markers in it. After Lynn gives him 9 more markers, he has a total of 30 markers. So we know there's this extra 9 in here because there's the 9 that Lynn gave him. And then each pack that he has X in it. And he has 7 packs. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, obviously, my boxes aren't the most equal, but it should be 7 same size boxes, each marked with X, 1 box marked with a 9 to represent the 9 that Lynn gave him, and equaling our 30. All right, number 2. Elena is cutting a 30-foot piece of ribbon for a craft project. She cuts off 7 feet and then cuts the remaining piece into 9 equal lengths of X feet each. So she has how much total? Once again, 30, in this case, 30 feet instead of 30 markers. Okay, so it says that she cuts off 7 feet first. So we're going to have a box on here with X because she's taking away that 7. And then the remaining piece she cuts into 9 equal lengths of X. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I know I ran out of space. So we've got the 9 equal pieces, each length equaling to a length of X. And then we've got the 7 that she initially cut off. So we've got the 7 feet she initially cut off, and then each of these pieces that she cut equally with the remaining into 9 equal pieces. All right, number 3. A construction manager weighs a bundle of 9 identical bricks and a 7-pound concrete block. The bundle weighs 30 pounds. So once again, it's going to equal our 30, in this case, pounds. So we've got our 30 pounds. Now he's got the 9 identical bricks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's his 9 identical bricks that are in his bundle, and then he's got a 7-pound concrete block, all of which combine equals 30 pounds. There's our tape diagram. All right, the next one, number 4. A skating rink charges a group rate of $9 plus a fee to rent each pair of skates. A family rents 7 pairs of skates and pays a total of $30. Once again, we're going to have the total is 30, this time $30. Now, in this case, we have 7 pairs of skates. So we're going to have 7 boxes because each pair of skates has a fee to rent them. So we're going to have 7 identical boxes to represent the fee for the skates. Okay, so there's our 7 identical boxes. And then one box with our $9 to represent the one-time fee, the group rate. All right, number 5. Andre bakes 9 pans of brownies. He donates 7 pans to the school bake sale and keeps the rest to divide equally among his class of 30 students. So for this, we're going to have the bracket is not going to be 30 this time because he only baked 9 pans of brownies, or 9 pans of brownies. This is 9. Now, it says that he donates 7 pans to the school bake sale. So we're going to have one box marked 7. The rest, he splits among his classmates of 30. So now we could write out 30 X's. That's going to take a little while. Or we can write it as 30X. That makes it a little easier, especially when there's that many X's to have to write out. That'd be a lot to fit into a tape diagram. Okay, so here are our 5 tape diagrams matching each of these situations. Now, what we're going to do next is here are 3 equations. We want to match each situation to an equation, find the solution to each equation, and then tell what it tells us about the situation. So, the equation 7x plus 9 equals 30. What does that go with? Where do we have 7x plus 9 equaling 30? Well, 4 has 7 x's and a 9 and it equals 30. And 1 has it. So 7x plus 9 equals 30. 7x plus 9 equals 30. So I'm just going to write the equations on here. You guys can just put situation 1, situation 2 next to the equations when you do this. All right, now it wants us to solve. So subtract 9, 7x equals 30 minus 9 is 21. Divide by 7. So x equals 3. Now, that means when we're solving for x, that means there's 3 markers in each pack. Now, down here, we already know the answer is x equals 3 because we solved that up above. But in this case, it means it's $3 to rent a pair of skates. Okay? So different meanings in each situation. So really looking back at, okay, yeah, we solved this, but what does it mean in terms of the situation? All right, the next equation, 30 equals 9x plus 7. Well, here we have 30, we've got the 7, and we've got 9 x's. So 30 equals 9x plus 7. Do we have another one? We do indeed. 30 equals 9x plus 7. So situations 2 and 3 both are this second equation. So let's go ahead and solve this. We subtract 7. Once again, or in this case, we're going to get, 23 equals 9x. Divide by 9. So x equals 23 divided by 9 is going to be a 2.6. So x equals 2.6. Now, in terms of the first situation here, this one is going to represent each of the 9 pieces is, each piece is 2.6 feet long. In this situation, it was about the bricks, remember? So it's going to be each brick weighs 2.6 pounds. And so the last one, 30x plus 7 equals 9. That would be this tape diagram right here. So now if we take and solve, subtract the 7. So we have 30x equals 2 divided by 30. So x equals 1 1/15. So x equals 1/15 in this case, which means each student gets 1/15 of a pan of brownies. So when we're doing tape diagrams, it's not just about, okay, we're going to throw these numbers together to represent the situation. We find our number, then the answer is just 1/15. It's not just that. It's taking and giving us an answer to a specific real world situation, a real context. So you have to be able to take and explain what that situation represents. Now, your keyword is tape diagram. And now we're going to go ahead and switch over to lesson 5. All right, so lesson 5. Guess what? Same thing. We're still drawing tape diagrams. So, number 1. Each of 5 gift bags contains X pencils. Tyler adds 3 more pencils to each bag. Altogether, the gift bags contain 20 pencils. So for number 1, it's going to contain 20 total. Now, it says that he has 5 gift bags that contain X pencils to start with. So there's our 5 gift bags with X pencils. But then he adds 3 more pencils. So plus 3 to each gift bag. So these are a little different than what we looked at before. We don't just have all our X's and then something added to it. In this case, we're adding to each of our groupings out of this. Okay? So a little different. All right, number 2. Noah drew an equilateral triangle with sides of length 5 inches. He wants to increase the length of each side by X inches, so the triangle is still equilateral and has a perimeter of 20 inches. So once again, it's going to be 20 at the top. Now an equilateral triangle is going to have 3 sides. Each side he had was 5, but now he wants to make them all bigger so that it'll have a perimeter of 20. So we add X to each one of them. We can also have this flipped around and say X plus 5. That's perfectly fine. This is just based off as you read the information, writing it out. All right, number 3. An art class charges each student $3 to attend plus a fee for supplies. Today, $20 was collected for the 5 students attending the class. So 20 is collected. We have 5 groups. I know my groups aren't overly equal. And it's charging $3 for each student plus a fee for supplies. So we're going to have X plus 3, X plus 3, X plus 3, X plus 3, X plus 3. What do you notice? 3 and 1 are the exact same equation. They're the exact same tape diagram. All right. Number 4. Elena ran 20 miles this week, which was 3 times as far as Claire ran this week. Claire ran 5 more miles this week than she did last week. So there's a lot going on in this situation. So it's telling us she ran for 20 miles, so we know that's going to be our total. And then we know that's 3 times as far as Claire ran this week. So we split into 3 groups. And Claire ran 5 more miles this week than she did last week. So X plus 5, X plus 5, X plus 5. So our tape diagram, we've got our 20, 3 groups because it's 3 times as far, and X plus 5, X plus 5, X plus 5 because she went 5 more miles this week than she did last week. So X represents last week's miles. Okay? Notice this equation and number 2, they are the same, even though the X plus 5s are flipped around. Now, just like on the last one, we have the equations and we want to take and match them to the situations and explain what they mean. So the first one, we have X plus 3 times 5 equals 20. So that's going to be 1 and 3.